Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. So on Wednesday we talk about what we have accomplished so far, what we have pushed into develop production, and we can also mention what we are going to work on next. And if we have any blockers or questions, now is the best time to share. I'll start with the left top corner, and the first one is Ambuj.
Hi guys, happy Wednesday. So I've been working on pushing my code to the dev. Right now, a few blockers that I had since yesterday was there were some particular URLs that were updated in Ditto that could help me fetch the file from the 1 DB. So I had to fix that. And right now, I had worked on a fast API implementation to for the front end to get responses from the back end. But on Mahdi's suggestion, being that fast APIs are pretty slow. So one of the suggestions he came up with was to use web sockets, and we are still thinking of the best way to do this to get the results from the back end to the front end. But yeah. So right now, correct. Yeah, sure. So objective was to have the results from my front end come to the back end, so Hadi could create the queries. Yeah, the chatbot query, not the experiment design, only the chatbot and the queries and the responses that are currently a person can use from the terminal, right? The Y prompt, yeah. So right now, yeah. So right now, I want to give Hadi a way to interact with his Y prompts. So he needs some form of interface to get the results. So one of the ways I was, yeah, yeah, yeah. So the objective is that it's currently working in the backend, the Y prompts and the user responses, and even the chatbot gives the response. These responses have to be served on the chatbot on the front end. Yeah. So Hadi requires a way to get these responses, queries, Ys to the front end. Yeah.
I think Ambuj means the output that the RAG or whatever he implements will generate. That needs to be then shown to the user, right? I,
Yeah.
that's what you mean,
Correct.
Ambuj?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my way, yeah. Well, this is not right into the dev. This is not in the dev right now. If you want, I can push this to dev. But yeah. Okay. 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 So now I guess I'll push this, and then later on I can brainstorm the best way to get the results to the user. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So that's all for me, guys. Thanks. Um, the result. Yes. So for now, I want to also work with Llama Index. I've heard that it's much more powerful in understanding underlying relationships. But for now, I'm just pushing this to PR. Like I'll be pushing this to dev first. Then I want to experiment with. Um, yeah, I mean the graph rag implementations. No, the graph rag implementation with LangGraph. So I'll be pushing this right now. Yeah. And then later I can work with like correct. Yeah. And then after that I can look into Llama Index. Okay. All right then. Yeah. Sure. Let me look into this and I'll get back to you. Then maybe we can connect with them. Yeah. That's that's all my updates. Thank you guys.
Thank you. And Avi is next. And Chin is next.
Hi everyone. So on Monday, I had a session with Madhi who uh, helped me set up the backend, and we were able to run it on the shared server. I also did a bit more reading. I finished the MIT survey paper on the compensatory and non-compensatory um, consideration set stuff, the survey paper. I also spoke to Subodh, and I got um, a bit more insight on like potential directions for improvements, like whether we can use like token probabilities, whether how reasoning kind of fits into this equation. And yeah, I still need to explore the code base. I've only just set up the backend. I didn't get too much time to go through the APIs, so I need to still like set some breakpoints and trigger some APIs and just, I guess, get familiar with the code base. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of it. There's not much else to report. My objective, my task for the rest of the week is just get familiar and continue my reading. So get familiar with the code base and continue reading. Just so I kind of know where everything lives, and like if I wanted to do like prompt engineering, then I'd need to like know, how like suppose showed me like on the surface level where some of the functions are. So I just need to, like, if I wanted to think about like making changes, I'd need to like know what part of the Rehoboam code base is responsible for what, right? So
So
uh, yeah.
we talked about Avi couple of things. So one thing is the following. Um, so direction one is that along with persona definition, we will ask LLM to use a certain behavioral rule and use that to answer the question, whether it's picking the option on a discrete choice or giving a probability of everything. So that way, I just want to see if we ask it to use different behavioral strategies, then are we better able to replicate the human behavior in real world? And that will also help with replications, because then we can not only use the traditional compensatory papers but also something which is non-compensatory, so that adds to the validation. And then the second part is we don't ask it to use a certain behavior strategy and just do give the response as it gives us now. But once it gives us a response, we do ask it, like, tell us what was the strategy that you used to give us this option. And that strategy could be from 8 or 9 different behavior strategies that it could be. So my goal here is the following. This is my feeling is, if in certain replication papers, if we are way too off, my guess is that the DGP in the actual paper versus what we are able to get may be way too different in terms of what was the behavioral strategy used by actual humans versus LLM. So generating process. Yeah. Not really, because if we go to a good quality, so there are a lot of papers where they actually ask people both stated and revealed. So by stated, they ask, okay, tell us if we showed you, let's say, 5 attributes, did you use all 5 or did you just use 1 or 2? And people do state, right? And then they also make a choice. And then after estimating the model, you try to go back and see whether or not what they revealed is similar to what they stated. So this is, I'll talk about this probably end of the meeting as well, but I was trying to replicate the Heinmuller 2014 paper, the one on the immigrants. That has uh, 9 attributes, and then there's like total number of 50 labels. So if you do like 50 minus 9, you have like 41 labels. So let's say 9 attribute. Imagine showing to humans even 2 options with nine attributes, and then ask them to process everything and make a choice. My guess is, or based on literature, whatever I have read, this is way too much information to process. So people will do some sort of non-compensatory. Whereas when we are doing replicating the Heinmuller that paper, we are assuming it's all compensatory, and our replication is not that great. So that could be an indication that either we are estimating a different kind of model versus what the paper how the people in the paper had responded to the options. Okay, just bear with me. I can share my screen. Uh, uh, such as yeah, so Chin did talk about he read, I think he did mention, he read somewhere that using Pydantic and forcing it in a certain format may lead to reduction in the quality of the response. So he will work on that. But these are basically the broad stuff that we talked about that basically Chin will work on. Does everyone has gone through the Ditto repository? Mm-hmm. I mean, the reason I'm pushing more towards changing in terms of math and the behavior model is because I see when we have a lot experiments with a high number of parameters, then we have very less percentage of parameters which gives same sign as what we calculate versus what was reported in the paper. Yeah. So now I do calculate all those things. So that's what I was saying. I'll show you, and that basically got me thinking that it's basically a difference in the DGP, which will lead to this kind of sign flipping.
I have a question. If it's for
Mhm.
just one study, sorry. Yeah. If you're replicating just one study, do you think it's possible that you're overfitting for that study?
No, so we
Like
are
for those first hundreds? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, at least over the week, Monday, with the help of Florian, now we have a list of studies which are valid versus invalid in the repo. So we'll basically put that list, and now we can actually run like a for loop and get all those valid ones run in one go. So at least now we can go through what all the invalid ones to see why they are invalid and basically have to go through the papers. But I think out of 160, we do have 70 or 80 which are valid. So we do have a significant number which we can run. Mm. Transcription. It could be transcription, mostly transcription, because based on the betas and the standard errors, there is no way to identify what is the base label for a certain attribute, whether be it dummy encoding or effect encoding. There is no third encoding. Basically, there's two encoding. So even with this, there is no way of identifying based on how the numbers are, and that's why it's invalid. So I literally have to go through the paper and see if the made a mistake copying some numbers. No, so basically I fix 5 or 6 on the fly. So basically I'm just going through and I just fix and upload there itself.
And Florent is next.
Well, sleep when we're dead. Hi, everyone. So I've been working on the Shiny app. So for very short context, to run the front end of VoidCamp locally, I have to pull the code from the GitHub, then hard code the parameters that Dativik has given me, and I was like, surely I can automate that and make it easier so I don't have to copy paste every time. But apparently I come out because I'm getting into what looks like some race conditions with the calls to the Shiny app. So I'm debugging that. And more broadly working to make the Shiny app more robust by building more tests around it, so that we know when the code changes break current functionality, and can avoid that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Florent.
So my objective is to have a good coverage of tests for the Shiny app, so that when we have new code changes, we know we don't break things, and reduce the number of things breaking down along the way. Sorry, what? Right now I'm trying to build the test, but once I have tests that work well, then yes, we can put them into GitHub Action. I've used GitHub Action in the past, so I'll probably just need 5 minutes with someone to see what are our configurations are, and then push them to GitHub. Okay. Yeah. No, it will tell us, hey, don't do that. You will break things. You will lose. I don't I don't know why we're losing the past studies right now, but I can definitely build tests that it's hey, if you implement this thing in production, things will go wrong, and so that's definitely one of my goals, to make sure we can do those updates confidently.
Florian is next.
Hello guys, happy Wednesday. I've been working on the RAG pipeline for the transcriptions, and the model architecture is all there, and I've tested on a couple papers, and the responses are pretty good. It just needs there needs to be some hyperparameter tuning in the RAG, and also some prompt tuning, so we can clearly tell it this is the type of response that we want. Yeah, so to that end, I'll be mostly working on the hyperparameter tuning and prompt tuning. And I do have one question about the transcriptions. what does the experiment size mean in the transcriptions? A question to anybody who knows.
Nothing. It's a old variable which we don't even use.
Okay, so
Doesn't
just
doesn't matter.
okay, I see. I see. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's PDF to JSON basically. What do you mean by images? Like non-text based? Ah, right. Right. No, right now it's only for text. I'll look into doing it for images as well. I would probably add a lot more robustness to the responses as well.
I mean, for the first pass table will do because literally 99% of academic papers, the main estimation results, the betas and the standard errors are in the table.
Yeah.
Good quality journals, yes, Avi. It's in tables.
And Lucy is next.
Hi guys, happy Wednesday. So I have been working on drafting product-based posts and posting them on Reddit. I did around 10 posts and tried posting them, but except for one, all others got blocked. So I decided that like maybe like I should change gear, and I tried also posted to some of the psychology and like sociology subreddits. And I posted some of our research studies on there, and so far gotten one response, and the response is pretty good. And so I feel like maybe we should like maybe I should like post more of our research to like psychology based subreddits, so like they actually have more, like they are more friendly, and then they give like a lot of, they might give us a lot of like valuable responses because most members are like researchers or like psychology students. Yeah, that's my update. Thanks.
Thank you. And Linnea is next.
Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, I've been mostly getting set up, working with Tadovik on getting all of the assets I need and doing some basic bug fixes so that I know the pipeline for that and can work independently more, hopefully in the future. I guess exactly that, like start doing bug fixes independently.
Half of the job is done. The art part is done. The sensory part is not completed. No, so far I'm sending her like individual tasks and bugs.
I have heard that, yeah, because it takes the contaminated blood out and you regenerate it, and you don't regenerate plastics. Yeah. Cool stuff.
Great. Thank you. And Madi is next.
All right. Hi everyone. So these are the tasks I have done from Monday. So first I set up the Rehoboam on remote machine, in Florence, and also help to Sharon how to use Rehoboam. And here's one thing that there are unused accounts on the remote dev machine from Mahita and Surah and all those things. We need to remove them in order to reduce the costs. I just wanted confirmation from Avi. So yeah, this is one thing. Also help. Yeah, I have. Yeah, and next I helped Atish. He had an issue with connecting the database. The issue to database. The issue was that it was connecting to remote GCP database that we have set up, and he was saying that it's not in my local. So we figured that out and fixed that. So now he is connected to database, Atish, and next several human baseline issues with Subut, which Subut will tell more about. And there was an issue on the section about the access. User gets trial. Upgrade your accounts that much. So work with Tushar on it to fix it. And also updated the documentation on the back end, so the getting started for better onboarding. Also today it helped Ambush a bit. And next I will be focusing on the deployment using Kubernetes, so we can continue work of Duplo Cloud. So we deploy that, so we can spend our days on GCP. And next, also I want to run Docker locally for easy onboarding. So we just run one command instead of a whole process, spending like 2 hours or 3 hours setting up the machine. And also, this is also good for development. This two next step is from DevOps. The other thing that I will be working on is the it's mostly developer experience, like coding standard, GitHub Actions, so everyone can easily push and pull without breaking the project. So I am on these things.
And Mia is next.
Mm. Okay, so for the traits, the Postgres is good. It can handle everything. So I would say Postgres is good, but yeah, it's set up already. We just can use it. we
Yeah,
can do.
yeah. We're not using
That
anything from that.
yeah, it was the querying was sometimes we got issue querying the Firebase, so we are retiring it and migrate to Postgres. Actually, this is something that we need to discuss about this. So one option is if the weights and bias, we have talked with them. If they fix the pagination issue, then yeah. So this is one which, if it's not feasible, then we need to have a cache or a replicate of the weights and bias in our database, either Melisearch or Postgres. It doesn't matter. They will work the same. So mhm. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay, so yeah, yeah, yeah. We like have that vector database in Postgres as well. It's an extension PG vector to Postgres. But I will check both of them and see which one is best for us. Mm. Okay, sure.
And Mia is next.
Hey guys. So I've been helping Avi and Sarah the investor pitch deck, and then I'm also just finishing up the podcast that I've been editing that has some pretty good like marketing initiatives for LinkedIn post. They highlight like I have three separate clips. One highlights a mission and a valuable statement. Another explains like our model and like how to find bias. And another one explains the say-do gap. So I think that could honestly be really beneficial to put on our LinkedIn and to and I think that is everything from me for right now. I'm just going to continue to finish the pitch deck today with Sarah. So
Thank you. And Pablo is next.
Hey, happy Wednesday, guys. It's really awesome to hear all these exciting updates. For me, giving cloud coverage for Avi regarding, and I'm super excited for the demo of this fundraising deck. Worked a little bit on that earlier in the week. tons of interviews today and also onboarding of Michael. That should be starting right after this session. And also have a session with Avi, as he mentioned, to scale up and ramp up our sales engagement, marketing engagement tools, especially automation workflows. So really excited. Yeah, it's all good news. Really, really, really fun. On top of outreach, on top of, the other things that we're doing regularly to continue to get the word out. All right, that's me.
Thank you. And Sarah is next.
Hello. Helping me out with the pitch deck, but it's like a small version of the pitch deck, like very initial. Subconscious does this very like punchy and short. I have been doing a task in GitHub of following research paper authors on LinkedIn. I think I followed about 100. And yeah, that's about it right now. I think there's something else that I forgot. Feedback on what? No, I'm just following them. There's no, I don't understand the feedback specifically. What do you mean by that? Yeah, it's just like step one is like just follow. So finding them, following them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As I'm following them, like if they seem like there's somebody that is super active, because not all of them are super active on LinkedIn, I highlight their name so I can go back and craft an email or something. So yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Well, I think my biggest question about that is what do we want from them? And I feel like the answer you guys have been giving is a little vague. I think personally, if I were to email a researcher that, they'd be like, okay, I spent all that time researching and you're telling me that AI can replicate it? Like, I don't know if they'll be like, what am I supposed to do with this info? Maybe, but maybe I'm being skeptical. But that's what. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what I was wanting to clarify is the value. So the value might be they would find it valuable to validate or test their. I'll just meet with I'll meet with both. Because yeah, okay, cool.
Thank you. Next on the screen is Subodh.
So I'm still continuing on my human baseline experiment and exploration. So beside what I have talked with Chen, there's a couple of things I'm also doing on the side. So here's one thing in our survey design. So we at the moment allow for all possible combinations, right? So what could happen is that maybe there is some option which is dominant and it may get picked up. And so if we have more of such task, then there is a chance that that could lead to a flipping in the sign that we might see. So a quick validation of that is basically then to do like a deficient based design. So what we could do is basically take the betas that they have reported in the paper and then use that to generate a deficient design. So that will ensure that there is a utility balance across the options and then see if that actually improves bit of sign flipping issue that we have. So I'm playing with the deficient code to see how to make that thing work with the unlabeled alternative and basically see if this assumption has any water. Mm. No, so it's not looking. So at the moment, my concern is not about any new study. I'm just trying to see what is it that we can do so that we can replicate better. Like, is it because of the design? Is it because of the LLM? So basically, explore every possible thing which we could do. Mm, 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 mm. I mean, okay, okay. Add to that. There is, I mean, now there is no, it's just A and B. There we go anywhere between 2 and 6. I'll show you some numbers. It's uh, pretty much uniform distributed in terms of choices. Almost like, yeah, yeah, it's pretty much close enough. Now that I'm here, let me just share. It doesn't matter. Bear with me, people. So this is for the Heinmuller 2015. So we have basically 6 alternatives. You see the numbers? This is again Heinmuller 2014, 6 of them. So it's not like one is way too skewed versus other. There is a good enough distribution now. So I haven't run many study, but at least based on 7, 8, what I have run, this is a progression I'm saying. When we have fewer, as the number of parameters starts to go up, our number of percentage of parameters with the same sign, what we get and what is reported, goes down. So basically, this thing is getting more worse when there are more number of parameter, which basically indicates the design issue. Because in the small one, there are less chances of you being unbalanced versus when there are more of them. Hmm. Hmm. No, number of attributes, not the responses. number of attributes. Um, mm, mm. But that thing, I mean, the consistency check was nice, but that is not going to be a long-term solution. So we'll have to somehow move away from that. So that's what I'm saying. It has more to do with the survey design versus because here's what happened. In the Heinmuller 2014 paper, there are 9 variables attributes, and the one of that, and then 2 or 3 attributes has number of labels like 9, 10, and 11. Even if you go with halt and draw based design, you're bound to have some correlation in the design. And as soon as you have a bit of correlation in the design, your design is weak, which is going to affect the parameter recovery into it. But we don't use complete random design. That's the fine thing, right? We start with generator based design. If that doesn't work out, then we go to the halt and draw based design. Because that's the only way to ensure that you have way minimal correlation on off diagonals. So like, I mean, if you look at the Spearman R, forget everything. Like this is way better. Like we never had 0.88 with Heinmuller, but now we have 0.88. But if you look at the coverage probability, only like 27%. So, and look at the percentage of parameters with same calculated and reported sign, like 66%. So that's what I'm saying. There's still a distance to cover when it comes to higher number of parameters. No, no, no. Everything's correct. Everything is correct. Now, if there is another one, right? This one has like 32 parameters. You see, your coverage probability is higher. So basically, that means you are better able to get in terms of magnitude close to what you had. This is also high, right? We had 65. This is around 78. Spearman is not that is 69, which is fine, but these values are then low, 3.08. Here it's 4.33. So the problem gets worse when we go like really high in terms of number of attributes and labels. But mm, but compare what human to human then? Mm, yep, that will because so that's the thing. Like if you have more of a higher number of parameter, more higher number of attributes, by default people will switch to some sort of information selection. It's very rare that everybody will use that, and that will lead to so different population segment will lead to a totally different kind of result then. So that's what we can then verify. Then if we put like, okay, use this decision strategy, use this set of attributes only while making a decision, and then see what the outcomes are in terms of numbers. Then we can actually validate these things on a number basis. Part of the prompt, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there's nothing to optimize. We basically run with different strategies and then estimate and see the numbers and basically see if we are able to make that differentiation what we actually have it with the humans. No, there's nothing to block. I'm doing. I'll need couple of more days. Like I said, I'm doing some deficient design. I just want to do that for my own sanity. And in the meantime, Chin will be up and ready with the code, and then we can sit and implement those decision strategy based estimations as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, that I can run quickly.
And I mean, from a like behavioral science slash like promotion perspective, like at some point where if I followed correctly what Sibod was talking about, that like at one point we'll get from we can do market research cheaper, faster than with human being to we can do market research that is going to be more predictive of actual behavior than asking human beings because we're going to correct for the say do gap. And so like that's a whole different ball game. I mean, well, that depend on the topic, but like, my favorite study is like where they had actual purchase data and they asked people, did you buy white goods, so like fridge, washing machine, over the last 3 months? And like, there was a non-zero difference, and it's like, okay, not do you intend to buy? Will you buy? But like, did you freaking buy a giant machine in your house in the last 3 months or the last 6 months? And people are like, no, I did not. And it's like, well, you did. Or, yeah, I did. No, it was 8 months ago. So, I mean, all of that to say, and then you have just people not being understanding fully their own preference. So like there are elements, I mean, definitely there are elements of if you ask them to make choice, I mean, if you ask them to make theoretical choices between options that mirror real choices, you get a better answer than if you ask them in the purely abstract. Like that's the whole point of the DC and all that. But it's still not, in many circumstances, it's still not perfect. You get biases, etc. And so there is still opportunity to do even better. To say, hey, no, we can do our synthetic audiences are more predictive of real world behavior than asking human beings to do DCs. Like, I mean, sorry, what? I mean, it's like, in many ways, like data science is already more predictive of this and that than asking experts. Like, I mean, I don't know, but just food for thought for a couple of miles down the road.
I mean, the short answer is following, Avi. In academia, people have done research over 10 or 20 years, right? Whatever. So now they have established, okay, this is the context, and these are the number of attributes and levels. Then more often than not, people will switch to this kind of behavior. So if people switch to this kind of a behavior, whatever it may be, compensatory, non-compensatory, conjunctive, disjunctive within non-compensatory, then you have a different mathematical model to estimate the data, and then you get a different set of numbers. With the LLMs, we don't know what is happening under the hood. What is it that they are using to give us the output? So, so if we can uncover that, then we can accordingly also use the mathematical model that we should be using, and then we can see a number which will probably be much more closer to what people have been saying in the papers. So that's the whole idea behind forcing them to use a certain strategy. And then, I mean, I don't know if they will be, if they do, good. If they don't, then also we have an answer. Okay, to a certain extent, they can't. Then either way, we'll know. All right.
Thank you. And Tushar is next.
Hi everyone. So yesterday I fixed the cookie issue along with Marty sir and pushed the fix directly to production. So no users in production will face that anymore. Also started developing the website. Pushing to the holocron in my branch. Sorry, in the holocron repository in my branch currently. Pushed some changes. We'll see how it goes. We'll demo like on Friday with more pages. Currently, I have built the hero section only. Yeah. So the issue which was causing users to see the upgrade your plan banner even though they were customers or evangelists. So that one. Yeah. Thank you.
And next is Hadi.
Sorry, there are two horns, and one is like a positive, and the other one is like a negative, and sometimes they get trigger happy. Continue. I know. I just get trigger happy, guys. My bad. I'm not a DJ. I'm not a DJ.
Hadi is next.
Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Well, this week I was in touch with DBC and Ash for 12 tasks implementing graph rack for the uploading data around persona, product, and competitor, and for the flow visualization for user journey. Yeah, and so I have requested access. I had issue with actually with GCP permission issue, and also for Versal to deploy the React flow, and also we need to deploy after stand up. I will be sitting with DBC to deploy his code to GCP, and I don't have permission. For the to create a project on GCP, I need access on setting up APIs on GCP, like something like owner access or editor access. Okay. Yeah, that's it from my side.
And
Yeah, sorry, one thing.
mhm.
Yeah, Avi, the Vercel access is enough, I think. Yeah.
Actually, Madi, there is two, like one for React Flow visualization and for user journey, and then there is RAG implementation. So we need
I will
GCP as
give
well.
you access. I will give you access.
Okay. Hadi, one question. Is that is the UI ready for the population definition?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I think Atish will be able to get his data and code. Then we can test tomorrow. Thanks for that.
Yeah, yeah, that's ready for US only, but for other countries it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get you that number. Atish has to give that number. So let him first set up his data and everything. Then you will get you one last piece of number, which you can use to put the upper and lower limits for rest of the world.
Okay.
Hmm. Oh, that PR is already there. I need to change the backend code now. It's already there in the deb. I need to make the whole change in the backend. It's gonna take some time, at least a week. It UI will need change too, but first backend needs to be changed, then UI. Not yet, but now Rupesh will give his update. But I'm just going to steal Rupesh a bit. So he has, remember a couple of days back, we were just looking at the JSON and talking that the current structure is very weird. We need a better structure like a key value pair. So he has created that. So now users should, we can make that happen where user can type like a heading and the sub labels, and we will be easily able to integrate that in the survey. Yeah, we'll use that kind of that type of format. Per at per attribute, as in when and where is like the initial part, right? So mm, 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 okay. I mean, I think before that, let us first implement the single attitude and all, and then I think we get to those because that will require a lot of changes in the backend.
Yeah, I should like really think before I say something. So next is Rupesh.
Okay. Finally, I got a chance. Hi, everyone. Uh, as Subodh said, I have worked on traits handling format in the front end, and I also addressed the necessary changes in the UI logic to reflect the modified format of a traits. Now, even if we wanted to add a new labels to the traits or any new trait would be really easy. I think we don't have that feature yet, but um, adding that would be an easy. And I'm also working on fixing a network request issue. I need a little more time to debug and work on it. Moreover, I also have other tasks in line, like to update the UI components and icons, making use of shard CDN and React Lucid library. I don't have any blocker for now, I'm waiting for a PR approval to merge the rights update into the dev. Apart from that, I will continue working on my task. That's it. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. I guess I'm the last one. So happy Wednesday, everyone. During the past 3 days, to be honest, I haven't worked on my own. So it's been always like one-on-one sessions with Linnea mostly. So my goal is that by next week, like she won't need my help, so she can make her own pushes and changes. But for now, like we do everything together, and yeah, we will continue to do minor fixes in the Shiny app and in the calculations at the end of this week as well. So that's my goal. Have I accidentally skipped anyone? Sounds like a no. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Does anyone have any blockers they would like to share with the team? Okay, seems like no. Does anyone have any yeah.
I was just gonna add, like if people are stuck, don't wait for like stand up to say that I'm stuck. Like literally ping anyone if you think somebody can help. At least in last week or so, I felt that people are literally waiting till the stand up comes so that they can say, "Oh, I'm blocked." So please write in the channel or ping either me, Madi, whoever can help will get it fixed. We'll try our best.
Great remark. Also, does anyone have any questions they need to be clarified? Looks like no. Does anyone have any quick demos?
Yep.
Yeah.
Made it without the pressure.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Mia did.
Nice. Straight to the point, but more punchy.
Maintaining the consistent characters in all over your scene has always been a challenging thing, but this issue has been solved by the design.ai, and in this video I'm gonna show you how you guys can create your custom characters and then maintain them all over your scenes. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So the tool that we're gonna use is called the
No, I mean, yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, the tagline is awesome. Measure without the pressure.
Can we define the teaser deck? Like, so this is not like the deck that is to be used when meeting with. Okay, this is more to like tease. Okay, say less. Got it. Got it.
No, not no to the demo. It's just nothing specific on my mind. Okay. Back to the stand-up. Does anyone else have a demo they would like to share? Great. Does anyone have any final questions, thoughts, requests, ideas?
Who raised that? Who? Okay. Yeah, then they were planning to. Yeah.
It's perfectly fine to say urgency. Yes, this is our time.
I have a question. Are there ways for us to like continue differentiating ourselves as good AI essentially? Is there a way to be like make our AI more humane or like sort of combat all the negative side effects? And like can we have like a maybe Sabode and the engineers can share, we could have like a session or something. I don't know. I feel like if we leaned into that or just knew what our options were, that would really help differentiate us so we could compete. I don't know. Yeah.
One thing I listened to an interview recently that was really interesting and inspiring to me. So the host was asking the guest who is working in AI, it was like, okay, so basically, if anybody can build a Salesforce clone in like 2 months, is this the end of Salesforce? Which, I mean, valid question, we're all wondering. And the guest answer was like, well, there are really two sides. Like, one side is, on one hand, Salesforce is just forms on top of databases, and that anyone can build in like, yeah, barely 2 months. But that's not where the value of Salesforce is, and that never was. The value of Salesforce is in the business logic and the constraint and all the thinking that goes like in that, and that you cannot replicate in just automatically in a couple of months. And I think the same applies to here, is that yes, the accuracy of a foundational large model will keep getting better and better, and it might get to singularity, but there is still a need for human beings to have interfaces that answer their question in the best way and have guardrail to like, oh no, they should not frame the question this way, and so on. So like, I don't think that the pure like horsepower of the foundational model should be worrying us in terms of the product we're building. But just my 2 cents.
Does anyone have any final thoughts, worries, ideas? Okay, so we are 37 minutes over time, which I apologize for. Really sorry. So yeah, let's, as Ada says, let's stay in channels, let's work in pairs, and let's finish the Wednesday on a high note. So thanks everyone.
Good job, Tatovic.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.